Hello, welcome to Pauper Guru with your host, Matthew Stoner. Sorry if this video is starting off with the screen black, but have y'all ever built a deck just designed to piss your opponent off? You ever want to make a deck just mean enough to tell your opponents, I don't care what you built, I don't care how well you built it? Well, this deck is for you. This is green-red land destruction. Start off with 4 copies of Zertal Druid for 1 green, 1 red. It taps for 1 green mana. Whenever it gets tapped for mana, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. 4 copies of Elvish Mystic, an old school good mana dork. 4 copies of Unbridled Growth. Enchant land. Enchanted land has tap, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So if you enchant it to a forest, that forest can now tap for green or red. You can also sacrifice it to draw a card. 2 copies of Fog, if your opponent wants to swing in for more damage early on. 2 copies of Reclaiming Vines, for 2 green and 2 of anything. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or land. 2 copies of Reap and Sow, for 1 green, 3 of anything. Choose 1, destroy target land, or search your deck for 1 basic land, put it on the battlefield. Or if you pay the intertwine cost of 1 green, 1 colorless, you get to do both effects. 3 copies of Ulamog's Crusher, because with the Annihilator 2 and being forced to attack every turn if able, eventually they're going to run out of dudes to sacrifice and chump block with. So then their lands are going to start going away a lot faster. 2 copies of Orcish Lumberjack for 1 red mana, so 1/1 you can tap it and sacrifice a forest and add 3 mana of red or green of any possible combination to your mana pool. 4 copies of Shock. 2 copies of Plunder for 1 red and 4 of anything, destroy target artifact or land, or, here's the even cooler thing, you can suspend it for 1 red and 1 colorless for 4 of your turns, and play it for 2 mana. 4 copies of Pillage for 2 red, 1 of anything, destroy target artifact or land, it cannot be regenerated. And 3 copies of Stone Rain for 1 red, 2 of anything, destroy target land. Now we're moving on to the sideboard of the deck. The sideboard allows us more removal, and if we're playing against combo-based decks, we can make sure we have answers for it. With 3 copies of Weather the Storm, for 1 green, 1 anything, gain 3 life, and it has Storm. 2 more copies of Fog. 1 copy of Reap and Sow. 2 copies of Geomancer's Gambit, which Geomancer's Gambit says destroy target land its controller searches their deck for a basic land, puts on the battlefield, and then I draw a card. 2 copies of Fall the Hammer, instant speed. I target like Ulamog's Crusher, and I get to deal 8 damage to any one of your creatures. So if I have matchups against other Ulamog Crushers, I can deal with them. Another copy of Reclaiming Vines. 2 copies of Return to Nature for that grave hate builds. 1 copy of Natural State for weak artifacts or enchantments that I'm needing dealt with a lot sooner. And 1 copy of Melt Terrain, which destroys target land and then shocks the opponent. That is green-red land destruction. I hope y'all like, share, and subscribe, and thank you.